My old identity has been crucified with Christ. I'm a crucified woman. I'm a crucified woman. I'm a crucified woman. I'm a crucified woman. Hi, I'm Louange, and you're watching another episode of Crucified Woman, where we talk about trauma, the healing journey, and the process into becoming the women that God has called us to be. On today's episode, we're going to talk about a technique that can help us on this healing journey. I understand that not many of us want to see a therapist because it's hard to find a therapist that tailors to our needs and our likes and our preferences. And also, some of us may not be at a place where we can afford to see a therapist for 4 weeks and pay those fees, which can be quite a lot sometimes. This technique, I believe, is really helpful in so many ways. For example, some of us, we look for closure and we think that we're going to get an apology from the person or the people that have hurt us, and unfortunately most of the time we're not going to get the closure that we desire. We're not going to get the closure that we seek. We're not going to get that apology that we think we deserve, and and that's life. But this technique, it will help as well, because most of the times we keep things bottled inside, and I always say it's better out than in, because when you keep your emotions bottled up, when you keep those thoughts and those memories bottled up, it just piles on, and it can lead to so many things in the future, like both short term and long term. So, you might find yourself snapping at other people. You might find yourself, being, horrible to other people and taking out your frustrations on your loved ones. Or you might find in the long term that you end up having, problems with your organs, problems with your memory, problems, with your brain. So, it's best to keep things out than in. And this technique is very simple. It doesn't cost a lot, maybe £1 for a pen and £1 for some paper. So basically, you're literally just going to write a letter to the person that hurt you. It could be anybody. You can write it to your parents, you can write it to an ex, you can write it to somebody that abused you sexually, financially, emotionally, physically. But the main point of this exercise is to just offload on a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be long, it doesn't have to be short. It's your letter. It's something personal to you, so you can write whatever you want to write. But in case you don't know how to start, you could just start off with, "Dear so-and-so, I'm writing this letter to you today because I have decided to gain control of my life. I've decided to gain control of my thoughts. I've decided to take control of my future." You write down what they did to you. So you did this to me, you did that to me, and then you write down how it made you feel. It made me feel, this is just an example, what you did to me made me feel useless, made me feel worthless, it made me feel insecure. And I recognize that the problem was never with me, the problem was with you. And today I decide to take this step, to move forward. I may never get an apology from you, but today I decide to take control. And you just go on and on and on, and you just write whatever you want to write. When you're writing this with God, and when God, the Holy Spirit, is leading you to write, you'll notice that different things, that different triggers, different emotions that you didn't know you felt, different things inside that you never thought you felt. You'll start to see these things on a piece of paper, and you'll be like, oh my God, this thing is actually deeper than I thought. And it will actually really help, because all these things that were within you, they're going to be out. And whatever you decide to do with a piece of paper is up to you. Whether you want to, post it to yourself, whether you want to burn it, rip it, put it in the bin, or, put it somewhere so you can track your progress, is totally up to you. But the most beautiful thing about this, about writing a letter, is that you get to find out more about yourself. You get to decide the action plan and what you decide to do next. Like, are you going to develop new habits? Are you going to go and see a therapist? Are you going to speak life over yourself every single day? You get to decide the action plans. You get to decide what happens next. Pick up that pen, pick up that piece of paper, and move forward with your healing journey. And I'll see you next time on another episode of Crucified Woman.
My old identity has been crucified with Christ. I'm a crucified woman. I'm a crucified woman. I'm a crucified woman. I'm a crucified woman.